Hello and welcome to another exciting yet monotone video with me, Zero. Let's begin. In today's video, I will be going over how to overcome your obstacles caused by the ego, how understanding others can help you grow, and some of the consequences you'll go through when you start going through growth. But be warned, when you go through growth, your point of view will change a little bit. You see, as you start being honest with yourself, you're gonna see people lying to themselves, and sometimes it gets to you. It does make life a little bit less fun, but I'd rather be honest with myself and have peace than to lie to myself. But that's just me. Now I can really begin. In the first video, I mentioned how the ego puts up obstacles for you not to deal with your issues. The way you confront your ego is simple, one step, and that is ask yourself why you feel so negative. Ask yourself why you're so sad, so angry, you're full of anxiety. Basically, you're gonna be your own self-therapist. Let's take, for example, you're driving. You're driving, then someone suddenly cuts you off. You get mad, you might even honk at them. You might even insult them. Are you really mad at the person who cut you off? Or is there something going on in your head? Clearly something is going on in your head. Because if Buddha or Gandhi was in your situation, they wouldn't get mad. Why? Because those guys tried to achieve enlightenment and they were pretty chill dudes. So the next time you feel any negativity, ask yourself why. But of course, it's not going to be that easy. It doesn't have to be when you're just negative. It can also be when you're at a moment of peace or you're meditating. You can self-reflect and ask yourself, hey, what's going on in my head? Why do I feel upset? Or sometimes your issues just show up in time. Like, let's take for example, for many years, I hated Little John's To the Window, to the Wow. In that instance, I've asked myself why I hated that song, and I realized it was because when one of my ex-girlfriends broke up with me, that song was playing in the background. And from there, I just asked myself why I was upset at my ex-girlfriend. Another step is trying to understand others. Let's use the same example, but in a different point of view. Let's say you're driving and you see the person in front of you get cut off by a driver. You see the person that got cut off start honking, start shouting a lot of messed up things. They start tailgating. There's two ways you can see it. A, the person has road rage, or B, that person is going through something. You never know. They probably just got fired. They probably got a divorce. We don't know. Pity the person instead of trying to judge them. Realize that people aren't really that bad, that something in their past turned them into a negative person. You may be wondering how understanding others can help you grow. I'm going to use myself as an example. I really liked this one girl. I never got with her, and she used me. So for many years, I thought she was the one to blame. At least that's what I thought. So I started growth and I asked myself, why was I so upset? The first obstacle that I had to overcome was accepting that at that point in time, I was a nice guy. So I tried to do nice things to make her my girlfriend. Then came the next obstacle, which was realizing that the reason she used me wasn't personal. She had a past, just like most of us do, and she had her reasons to use me. Who knows, it was probably to boost her own ego, her self-esteem, I don't know. But I forgave her. The messed up part was that as I was trying to be a nice guy, doing nice things for her, she told me a lot of her personal issues. So instead of being a good friend, I chose to be selfish and I tried to still make her my girlfriend. the ego is really hard to deal with because it took me many years to admit that. In this case, I combined growth and understanding, and I kind of got peace from it. Now, some consequences when you're gonna go through growth. You will go through mood swings. Why? You're thinking about the things that affected you. Of course, it's gonna make you emotional. The very things that traumatized you. It's gonna suck. There was times where it got so bad, I would have to shut myself in, ignore friends, ignore family, and I even kind of became an alcoholic for a brief period because I couldn't deal with all my personal issues. It was tough. If you need to take time to unwind, go right ahead. Obviously, it helps if you have good friends and good family. But be careful because when you're going through mood swings, you could probably piss them off. I've lost a couple of friends that way. So don't just go nonstop and keep growing and growing. It is mentally exhausting, emotionally exhausting. It's okay to take a break once in a while. Now, onto some factors. If you're single and you have no kids, take advantage of the time you have. Obviously, if you have kids or have some kind of big responsibility, it's going to be harder to put your time and effort on growth because your time and effort will go on your kids. It's going to be more difficult for parents for sure, but it's not impossible. Just keep trying. The main thing I want all of you to get from this video is ask yourself why you feel negative. Also try to understand others, but mainly ask yourself why you feel so negative, because that is the main step in growth. You just have to keep asking yourself why and why until you get to the answer. Plus, you have the added bonus that you're not going to pay for a therapist since you are your own therapist. So now you know what the ego is, how to confront it, and in the next video, I will talk about how to establish true confidence and finally make peace with your past. Stay tuned.